Hey, how's it going? This is probably one of the weirdest videos I'm ever going to make, or you'll ever see a VTuber make. But I'm going to talk about effective PowerPoint visuals, and I actually have a decent reason for this. I recently watched, let's say a more comedic PowerPoint, and I thought to myself, hey, there's a very big hole in the market for VTubers doing PowerPoint talks. No, in all honesty, I had nothing better to do. Anyway, let's get into it. Effective visuals, they're not found. You don't need to know. So, first idea, visual pop. We need things to stand out. Obviously, I bet you noticed that. All those little fingers pointing. Hey, look at that. But yeah, you need to make sure things stand out. I mean, whether that's underlining, italicizing, highlighting, things like that. It's really important, and I feel like a lot of people avoid it. You know, just having the same the same text, the same font, art style, whatever, consistently, it just leads to things not standing out. My second idea, make sure that, you know, you have contrast. Contrast is important. Listen, I'm not saying anyone's perfect, I'm certainly not, but I think you need to avoid this. I mean, it's pretty bad if you have two fonts that are kind of clashing. Something I often see is, like, they use different colors in different parts of a slide, but then they don't realize you need to, like, adjust the background for the color at hand. Even today, I had a teacher conference and someone used yellow on white, and I'm like, that is not a good idea. You are making your entire crowd's eyes literally explode. I don't think, you need piss yellow with, like, blinding white. Just saying, not a good idea. Moving on. Yeah, you have to align text. Just, come on, I know, I'm OCD, so maybe I'm a little more into this concept, but people just do not align things, and please, God, take 5 seconds to do it. Please. A lot of these things aren't just PowerPoint stuff, by the way. Like, you can definitely apply these to, like, any sort of visual medium. If you're wondering why I'm stuck in this, like, little corner over here, it's just because some of the slides later on have different, pictures and whatnot, so I didn't want to get in the way as much. But as far as, aligning things, typically, I'd be over here a little bit. But I'm just saying, the idea is keep stuff in order, okay? It just it's not as confusing or distracting for anyone, alright? Now, oh boy, too many animations. You've probably seen slides like this where you're trying to grab attention by just constantly putting animations in, but instead you're just distracting them. Knock it off. Why do you need to do that? Just stop. It's extremely distracting to go flipping through 15 different animations in a row because, I mean, listen. I know we have our little subway surfers nowadays where it's probably going to pop up in, like, the corner or whatever, and you're like, oh, look at that. I get it. It definitely draws your attention in the direction of whatever you're doing, but it does not draw your attention to the content of what you're doing. So if you're trying to explain something to somebody and you have subway surfers going off in the corner or a cat going "Bleh," over and over again, that's not helping your cause, okay? So when it comes to, like, animations and things like that in PowerPoint, this is just like, it's just extra visual clutter that's not needed. I would say a lot of people do it once they know it because they're like, oh, this is fancy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it is a little fancy. I'll give you that. I'm no, I'm not a Scrooge, I get it. But it definitely isn't anything good for your actual PowerPoint itself, so let's avoid that, okay? Just don't do it. Now, clean design, same idea. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Let's not do that. That's not good. I don't need, like, over here we have, like, old lady dancing. I don't need that. I don't need, like, sad cat. I don't need, what, Jerry? It's just way too much going on. And, does this help anybody? No. It just distracts, whoever you're talking to and just avoids, basically, the main concept you have, okay? I think some people like to be a little fancy. I get it. You want to be fancy, you want to stand out. But does it really help you in the end? Does it? Does it really? No. No, it does not. Let's not do this. I see this in a lot of different things. I mean, it's not even just like it's not even just PowerPoints and things like that. I mean, just like when you're talking visuals. I mean, come on. Come on. Now I get it in like a YouTube format or something, you want to like overload the viewer, but that's because attention doesn't really matter as much. What I mean by that is your attention is fixated on the actual just like screen, okay? So if the idea is just I want them to look at me, then of course this is gonna work. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I mean like dancing old lady, of course that's going to draw my attention, right? I mean, come on. I'm having a hard time looking away. But in terms of like actually trying to, you know, explain something to somebody, no, you don't want this. As far as grounded visuals, what this is referring to is just like, don't bog things down. I mean, can you like look at what I'm showing over here and actually understand what the hell is happening? I'm a math teacher. I don't even, like, this is a mess. This is extremely messy. It's terrible. The idea that you would even make this is sad. So when it comes to visuals, what you want to do in terms of PowerPoints, straight to the point. There's rules, of course, and like, you know, in the education field, for example, like certain age groups can have more and more bullet points. But I think simplicity's, you know, it's for the best, okay? You really just want to have the stuff that actually needs to stick. Do I need all the, like, you know, verbal fluff on the side? No. No, I do not. Verbal fluff is not getting you anywhere, okay? At the end of the day, you want whatever is important to stick. Anything else is not worth it. It's not worth your time. Why even bother with it? Oh, here's something interesting. So in terms of cultures, of course this was more engineered around teaching, but I think it also applies to just in general talks. You do want to be aware of those differences. I mean, there's a lot of different things. I mean, first of all, in the US, we don't have that. Not a thing that's relevant to us at all. So if you wrote that in like a PowerPoint, I'm gonna sit there like, oh, what's that? And does that kind of distract from the main idea? Yes, it does. We don't want to do that. It's just one of those things where you have to be cognizant of your audience. I mean, there's a lot of different like avenues for that. For example, this is on YouTube. Being cognizant of who your like demographics point to, pretty important. I mean, I don't know, if you have a very heavy English audience or something and you're referring to a whole bunch of American concepts, it's just not going to strike the same, is it? You're just making things unnecessarily complex for no real reason, are you? So there's one of those things where it's like, you want to kind of stick to your audience's like comfort zone in a certain way and not distract them, because anything outside of that, they're going to be thinking like, what's that, rather than what are you talking about? So as an example, you know, you talk about, you know, like I said, businesses outside of the US, for example, aren't going to strike well with people inside of the US. If you talk about like really popular sports in other countries, you're going to cause unnecessary friction. If you're in the US and you say football, you're going to be thinking, you know, the old like field goals, all that kind of football, versus if you're in Europe, you're probably going to be thinking more of like what the US would say is soccer. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to be cognizant of your audience. Of course, in terms of like YouTube and things like that, demographics can skew to like an extreme degree. But, you know, the idea is still the same. If you know what your audience strides toward, then, you know, maybe stick to that idea. Because if you know your audience, the things that you say are going to stick a lot better. It's just how things work. Just how society functions. As far as consistency, I mean, you need it. What the hell is happening here? I don't know. This is a mess. I mean, it's just for a lot of reasons. First of all, I mean, you're distracting the audience. I mean, there's a different theme in every single slide. Hey, what the hell is going on? And there's also just, it can take your attention away, just like anything, like unnecessary clutter, things like that. If I look over at this, I'm going to be thinking, huh, why is there like yellow, black, blue, and red? Is there some relevance to that? I see purple up top. I don't know what's happening here. The idea is you don't want to distract anything. You don't want it to be... Literally, distractions are your worst nightmare when trying to present any sort of information, so the idea of having something like this is like hell. This is hell. You don't want this. This is bad news. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where, like, just like a lot of the other things, it's just another form of distraction that you should just never have, really. That's why a lot of, like, programs have things like themes, which you can see in this one if you ever use Google Slides. And as far as relevancy, of course, you know, a lot of slides have visual flair. You don't want to just have text on a background and that's your entire slide, do you? But when it comes to pictures and things like that, you want them to be relevant in some way. And you don't want it to be, like, ambiguous relevancy either. Like, there are times when things can connect, but, I don't know, let's say I'm teaching math. and we're talking about Euclid. I can throw a picture up of Euclid on the board, and most people would assume, hey, that's Euclid. But if I also see a picture that has his name in it, I would think, hey, maybe that's a better pick, because there's no questioning it. There's no questioning it. Especially if you have a slide just like on geometry, and then you do, like, here's a picture of Euclid, but I didn't tell you who it is. It's like, okay. You need to have relevance and not, and you want it to be unambiguous, okay? It wants to be direct relevance to the topic at hand, because if you don't do that, then you're causing all sorts of problems. You don't want that. Obviously, in this case, beard contest winner over here, I feel like is not an ideal image for a topic about relevant pictures. Or in some ways it is. Anyway, last idea, bullet points. Oh my god. Whether you're a student or a teacher, cool it with the bullet points, okay? Honestly, I'm of the belief if you have more than 5 bullet points on a slide, just make a new slide. You don't be lazy, okay? You can hit the space bar an extra time, you'll be fine. You don't want like 57 bullet points going all down your slide because it's just causing a mess. It's just gross. I mean, come on, be better. Be better. That's what it is at the end of the day, huh? Be better. Don't do this. This is ugly. Don't be ugly. Oh, that's mean. You're not ugly. Your slides are, though. So, at the end of the day, what do I want to say? Make your slides a little less visually cluttered and make it so that the actual content itself is striving forward and, you know, actually clearing the path rather than some sort of, I don't know, image that you want to have or some random, like, pictures that you want to throw up 57 times just to get people to pay attention to you. Now, again, in the age of YouTube where you just kind of want people to focus on the screen, fair enough. They probably would focus a lot more because they'd be like, huh, what the hell is going on? But if the idea is to actually convey some sort of information, don't do this. If you're trying to convey information, this is just distracting people from the actual information at hand. Why is a VTuber telling you this? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna hope to get back to like normal videos after this, but I don't know, something just struck me, okay? Something just struck me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to do this. Also, thanks for 20,000 subscribers. That's pretty crazy.